Welcome back to the White Time channel. Today, Neutral Milk Hotel and the Aeroplane over the sea. Wheel.
I wonder what will happen.
I hope it's I'm not even gonna jinx it, actually.
Don't even say
Okay, we're
anything.
good. We're fine.
We're fine. We have.
After my near miss with the yikes last time, I know it's coming soon.
It was too close last time. All right.
Ooh,
Meh.
ooh.
We
You got a lot of
on
bangers
here.
in there.
Yeah. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go Neutral Milk Hotel.
Ah, yes.
The Aeroplane over the sea.
Let's do it.
We're back. It's been 2 weeks. We took a little hiatus, vacation time thing. But we're coming back with a bang. We got Neutral Milk Hotel's cult classic.
Damn.
Yeah, this has been, I think, on your list for a bit.
Yeah, it's been somewhere on my list. Yeah, this is one that I have the vinyl for that I have not listened to. Infamously or famously, I don't know. My girlfriend got me this on vinyl on Valentine's Day. She's like, "You like folk stuff, so I'll get you this." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, I haven't listened to it." And she's like, "Oh, that's fine. And you can just listen to it on vinyl." I'm like, "Oh, but I have to do it on the show because I was already going to do it on the show." So I have been patiently waiting, and then we had a very long
YouTube
fan
takes priority.
marathon. So yeah, I've been waiting a hot minute, but it's time, I think.
Mm-hmm. But we made it here. We will preface that we know virtually like nothing about this album. I know there's like so much lore to it, and it's like one of the quintessential like music nerd albums. So you can lore drop in the comments, but don't get mad at us if we don't pick up everything.
Yeah, I know nothing.
All I know is like that it's like crazy kind of lo-fi, and that it's inspired by Anne Frank's diary.
Okay.
That's all I got. So
okay. Well, that's more than I know. I know that there's a coconut on the cover.
or a drum, or a
Is that it?
tambourine, or a.
I always viewed it as a
half a
coconut
eggplant.
man.
Let us know in the comments what it is.
I'm sure you're gonna do that anyways.
Yeah.
But I think we'll probably do the first two tracks together since it is a part 1, 2, and 3. So, King of Carrot Flowers, parts 1 through 3.
When you were young, you were the king of carrot flowers, and how you built a tower tumbling through the trees, in holy rattlesnakes that fell all around your feet. And you're my
right, kind of cut it off a little bit, but that is The King of Carrot Flowers, parts 1 through 3.
I think both were pretty good. This is gonna take multiple listens. I can already tell. There's a lot happening.
Yes.
But I love the instrumentation. I love the kind of lo-fi production it goes for. It is very like genre loose. It's not really conforming to one area. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Car Seat Headrest, just in the way that that lo-fi energy kind of comes through, especially on the part 2 and 3. But lyrics are really, really cool. I love the writing style, which is like kind of vague but kind of specific. It's kind of like the first part talking about like tumultuous relationship with parents, but also could be related to like Anne Frank in the same way. There's like this weird double entendre going on here. I think there's a lot of interpretations that could come up through there. Yeah, it's very strange. And then obviously the second song with the Jesus Christ lines are kind of funny, but I don't know. It's like wild. It's out there. It's eccentric, but it like glues you to it. There's like so much happening. I love the noisy guitar in the second part. Even just the transition with that kind of drone. There's a lot happening, but it all seems like it works. It seems like kind of a very imperfect expression of what I don't know. A lot of different things, but like it comes across pretty well.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
I think so. I mean, it is. It's very rough around the edges, intentionally so. You can definitely tell it's '90s with how they're how the lead singer is they're over enunciating words. I feel like that was such a thing in the '90s.
It fits the style very well.
Oh, it does. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think I'm in. But it's very hard to pin down right away. It's just like, okay, I think it's going one way and does something completely different. I wasn't expecting a straight on folk record just because I know that much about it, where it's like, okay, I know that there's gonna be some weirdo stuff in here.
Music nerd circle, it's got to be like there's got to be something in there.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's pretty dang good so far, I would say. We'll move on to track 3, the title track in the Aeroplane Over the Sea.
What a beautiful face I have found in this place that is circling all around the sun. What a beautiful dream that could flash on the screen in a blink of an eye and be gone from me. Soft and sweet, let me hold it close and keep it here with me. What a beautiful face I have found in this place that is circling all around the sun. And when we meet on a cloud, I'll be laughing out loud. I'll be laughing with everyone I see. Can't believe how strange it is to be anything at all.
All these go right down to the wire. This is the title track.
Masterpiece. Throwing it out early.
Wow.
I kind of have to.
Okay.
Yeah, amazing, fantastic. I was wondering how the Anne Frank thing was going to pair into this because it's such like a weird connection to draw inspiration from for a folk record from the '90s.
Yep.
But really fantastic. I love the kind of sentiment of finding beauty and like lasting thoughts and feelings like in times of horror. Like even though Anne Frank lived in this horrible time, she was able to like show the beauty through the diary in her stories. And he's kind of doing the same thing and trying to relate that, where it's like, when I'm gone, this music will be here as an extension of her and myself as well. And he has this like really weird parasocial relationship with her. It seems like when he dies, he's like thinking of them meeting up in the clouds. There's just like a really strong feeling coming from the song, and I don't understand like half the lyrics yet. but you can just feel it through it. But it's got this weird abstract writing where it just glues you and you don't know why.
Yeah.
Something similar happens with like Phoebe Bridgers for me, where it's like it seems like it's such a specific and odd thing, but like it connects so strongly to the individual.
Hmm.
Um, all that in a 3.5 minute song. It sounds fantastic. I love it. I love how he uses his vocals and kind of goes everywhere with it. I love that he gets loud. He goes a little bit back. It's just very dynamic. So masterpiece, fantastic.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy that they're able to fit all of this like lyrical density in a
Hmm.
pretty accessible. Like this is something that was probably on the radio in the 90s, like closing time, and then this song. It's crazy. um it's like two vastly different kind of artistic approaches, because this is so much more. But yeah, that one I just really enjoyed the sound of it. Like,
Exactly.
I'm not even like taking in the lyrics right now. I'm just trying to get the vibe of the record. Um, the retrospective for this album is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
But uh, yeah, right now, man, that's a hit.
Hmm.
So yeah, yeah, we'll move on. Track 4 is Two Headed Boy.
Two-headed boys, all floating in glass. The sun, it is past, now it's blacker than black. I can hear as you tap on your chart, and I am listening to hear where you are. I am listening to hear where you are. Two-headed boy, there's no reason to grieve. The world that you need is wrapped in gold, silver sleeves left beneath Christmas trees in the snow.
Again, right?
Right to the
I was trying so hard. Um, yeah, that was Two Headed Boy.
I don't want to start like just doing this all the time, but it's a masterpiece again.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Wow. I did not expect for this to like be this forward for me. I was thinking for sure like, one of the top rated albums of all time in all the music nerd circles. I'm like, there has to be a learning curve here, but no, I am in immediately. Um, the songwriting is just phenomenal, and I love the energy. I love the lo-fi production where his voice gets so loud in the mic, it's like nearly clipping.
Hmm.
The guitar matches the emotion, and just the whole song with like the contradiction of like this kind of two-headed boy, whatever it is, physical, could be a physical being, could be some metaphor, but just like the contradictions of life, of like the most utmost terror and then like the most like beautiful part of it, just kind of being thrown across the whole track. Definitely need to look through lyrics a lot more, um, but again, this Anne Frank kind of like motif is actually like really 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 smart. I thought it was going to be like a quirky gimmick, but like it's actually really well thought out and done really well. I mean, you even have like the references where it's like the sun it is past, now it's blacker than black, black sun, Nazi symbol, and just like all these different things put together. It's just like a really emotional experience, and I don't know how to explain it right now, but like it is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Yeah, I think that's my favorite one so far. And I'm glad you also really, really liked it too. Um, because I was like, oh man, am I going to be shot in the streets for saying that this is better than the Aeroplane Over the Sea? But I really, really liked just the feel of that one. It almost felt like this was a Neutral Milk Hotel live at the Electric Lady or something, where it's just like,
Hmm.
uh, they're using these real instruments, and you can tell it's all just recorded live. Um, just the acoustic guitar and just this guy um, just belting out. And usually, vocals like these I wouldn't really gravitate towards, but in this production, it really, really fits. Just like the kind of, I don't want to say sloppiness, but just like, he's hamming it up. I don't think he's trying
Hmm.
necessarily super hard to like be on key
Yep.
a lot of times.
Emotion first before like technical skill.
Yes. Which usually I would hate, but this time I'm really, really digging it just in
Hmm.
the overall feel of it. Yeah, yeah. I'm like, this is kind of crazy. I was not expecting to like this so much on the first listen, but here we are.
I think we messed up is that the Fool is transitioning from Two-Headed Boy, so we might need to back up a little bit.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, we'll back up like 20 seconds or something, and then we'll. What is it? A transition between the Fool and Holland, or
Nah, between Two-Headed Boy and the Fool, but maybe it
oh,
goes into Holland too. Who knows?
I guess
We'll
we'll
find out,
see.
I guess.
We'll see. But yeah, the end of Two-Headed Boy and the Fool. Do you want to keep it moving?
Let's keep her moving.
All right.
Two, one, two, three, four.
All right. That was The Fool and Holland 1945.
Those are both really good.
Mhm.
The Fool was fantastic out of Two-Headed Boy. I love the kind of military march with this like very sinister, dark undertone to it.
Mhm.
I think it leads perfectly into Holland as well, which is incredibly depressing, but like it goes really hard. I love the drums on that song.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, vocals are amazing. I love it. They're off kilter, but like the emotion is there, and I love just like the energy that kind of ebbs and flows through the track. I love the kind of psychedelic lyricism. It kind of goes everywhere in kind of like a scrapbooky way, but still has a main theme. Talks obviously about the Holocaust, but also like he does this weird thing where it's like when Anne Frank dies, she's like reincarnated in Spain, and like there's this weird thing going on. Still don't completely understand it. I think it's just like I don't know. There was a line in here too about like Earth looks better from a star that's right above from where you are, and just like zooming out, and like people will focus on like the key players of like the Holocaust, but they won't look at the actual horror of it often,
Mm.
and how like insanely horrible it was. But yeah, I mean, crazy song. I definitely need to dig into this one a lot more because there's a lot here that it just goes by so fast. I'm like trying to play catch up with this thing, but both sounded fantastic.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, I thought that the Fool was a pretty good button for Two-Headed Boy. A nice little companion piece, if you will. And then Holland 1945 just going super hard. I love that. Um, yeah, I don't even know what it like reminds me of something, but I'm not sure what it is. Um, I mean, it was almost a little like shoegazy, and like how those background guitars were super noisy.
There was like horns in there too, going crazy.
Everything was it was just in there. Um, yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't even know what to make of these lyrics. I was reading them as they were happening, and I don't know what anything means. So I don't know if I'm just dumb or if I'm just being waterboarded with noise, and that I think feel like both are probably true. But I did really enjoy Hall 1945. Thought that one was pretty dang epic, but not. I wouldn't say it's quite as good as in the Aeroplane Over the Sea or Two-Headed Boy for me. I think those are still kind of the two highlights. But we'll move on. Track 7 is Communist Daughter.
Sweet communist, the communist daughter standing on the seaweed water. Semen stains the mountaintop. Semen stains the mountaintops with coca leaves along the border. Sweetness swings from every corner. Cars careening from the clouds. The bridges burst and twist around. And wanting something warm and moving bends towards herself. The soothing proves that she must still exist. She moves herself about her face.
I'm gonna cut that off a little early just because I feel like that's
Yeah,
probably
'cause I feel
going
like
to
that's going somewhere.
transition. But that was the short and sweet Communist Daughter.
Fantastic, amazing, not biased. Uh, yeah, fantastic. Again, I love the contradictions in this album. Being blatant in the song, obviously, it's like you have the communism versus fascism, polar opposites. You have the serene kind of instrumentation with the really sexual and like innuendo filled lyrics. I just think it's a really, really, really nice moment on the record. There's a lot to dig into with the lyrics again, even though there's not that many of them. You can point it to a variety of things, but I think keeping it within the timepiece, but also like adding a twist to it where it's like, okay, we're keeping this contradictory theme of the album perfectly in this song. But it just sounds so good too. I love just like the lush instrumentation for a lo-fi record, especially to get that lush and serene of a soundscape. It was like really fantastic. Yeah, one of my favorites.
Yeah, I thought that one was pretty good too. I am a sucker for the acoustic guitar, and then it kind of reminded me like of Illinois, those trumpets at the end. Even though
Mhm.
I don't think Sufjan would ever say the word semen, I don't think I've ever heard him get that
You'd
sexual.
be surprised. I feel like he has.
Has he?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, he said he's has said masturbate in
Yes, that's true.
Carrie Ann Lowell, so
Hmm.
I am wrong. Um, but yeah, I mean, I do kind of like he changed his vocal delivery just a little bit, just kind of like da 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 da, da, just kind of just writing this one kind of
Hmm.
line, um, which I feel like it works, you know. Because when you're talking about Nazis, you're going all over the place. And when you want to go talk about the opposite, keep
Yeah,
it
that
level.
flat line. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really smart. It's like it works on so many levels. It's kind of crazy because it seems like just a simple 2 minute song, but it's perfect where it is. And yeah,
And I'm sure it will transition perfectly into "Oh Comely."
you also have the shortest song next to the longest song.
Oh,
Contradiction.
well, the Fool is actually shorter.
Oh, is it?
If you can
Darn
read.
it! My theory is broken. I'm a fraud.
Someone needs to get some new beepers.
Oh, calmly, I will be with you when you lose your breath, chasing the only meaningful memory you thought you had left with somebody bright and bubbly, terrible scene that was doing her thing on your chest. 50 years later, I wished I could save her in some sort of time machine. Know all your enemies. We know who our enemies are. Know all your enemies. We know who our enemies
Wow, I didn't have to cut it off early this time.
Mm-mm.
That was "Oh Comely."
I don't know where to start with that one. I'll give it the masterpiece first.
Of
Um,
course.
that might be the best song on the album.
Yeah,
Um,
probably, yeah.
there is so much in this. Okay, I this is all my perception of it. By the way, I could be completely off base. Um, but given the rest of the album, I feel like this is fitting. I feel like it explores like again contradictory things. It shows sexual purity, but also like sexual perversion to the highest level. It talks about his father and his infidelity and him like bringing prostitutes to wherever and how it kind of stained him at a very young age to kind of have this really warped and kind of disgusting perception of these things. Um, it also morphs back into the Anne Frank story near the end. Again, we have these like themes of reincarnation. We are all born, we all die. Um, like kind of meshing life and death as opposites once again. Um, it's like if you want to extend the sexual theme with like the last song too, it's like the incredible perversion and like degeneracy of Nazi Germany, and bringing that in, and just like you could even take it as like fascism as capitalism and decay, and he's showing this kind of decay and just like this disgusting nature of it through the song. That starts kind of, you know, pretty and just kind of like devolves into this thing. Even the chorus, just like say what you want to say and hang for your hollow ways, can be put so many different ways. So amazing, fantastic. There's so much in here. I'm gonna have to listen to this a lot, but that
Yes.
one just spoke to me, and like I was kind of getting stuff, but at the same time, it's like the emotion and the progression of the song and his vocals are just like all you really need.
Mm-hmm.
But if you dig in deeper, there's just so much in here.
Yes.
But amazing.
Yeah, this feels like Two-Headed Boy 2, which is ironic
Yeah.
because there is a Two-Headed Boy 2 at the end of the record. But yeah, I mean, I'm a sucker for any song that is, you know, acoustic guitar and a dude or lady. It doesn't just a vocalist and an acoustic guitar. So I mean, like this really delivers, and like these words. I mean, I'm not really registering them all just because I'm just in the music right now. But like, just like it's something like I've never heard before. Like this writing style is so unique, and it's a very interesting kind of perspective. I was not expecting a deep dive into the Holocaust or anything like that. Yeah, so it's so much to take in. This is gonna be one I'm probably gonna be listening to for a while, just trying to get it all down.
Apparently
Yeah,
that was in one take too. That's what
yeah.
Genius says, is that was one take.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
crazy.
There's those at the end of each kind of verse, you would hit those high notes, and I was expecting it to just be like the same, but then I noticed that he came down differently on the first one and the second one. I'm like, oh, I like that. That's kind of my pet peeve when, you know, artists don't re-record choruses, because really I don't know what goes into all that, but like having it be different,
You can feel it.
you can
It's,
feel
yeah.
it. Like Prince did that a lot. That was kind of like, I don't want to say it was like his signature, but like I think he was kind of known for like every chorus he would record at different times so that it would be different every time. Makes the
It's
song
like he hit
feel
that impossible like movie magic where he's just like, all right, watch this, and then just does it, and that's it. That's it.
right, right.
Yep, that's on the album.
But yeah, impressive stuff. I'm excited to see how this is going to end. We got some esoteric names coming up, so I'm excited. Track 9 is Ghost.
Ghost, ghost, I know you live within me. Feel as you fly in thunder clouds above the city into one that I love. With all that was left within me until we tore into. Now wings and rings, and there's so many waiting here for you.
Ghost.
Host. Very good. Um, yeah, just talking about mortality, and how how media records all events. Like you die, you're in the morning paper, you're forever documented. Just kind of like a weird like ghost, not in the physical form, but in like just the you were a ghost of a person written here, here, here. Hopefully, I mean, some people obviously aren't, but just a really interesting concept. I really like how the theremin, I think that's what that instrument called,
Hmm.
comes in and does the little like ooh spooky ghost song
Yeah.
sound at the end, so it sounds like the ghost is like singing along to the song. I thought that was like a really funny like dark humor, but also goes hard moment.
Yeah.
It just really like builds into like the surrealism and like psychedelic quality of this record. Um, but yeah, that one was really great too. That one's just like really fun to listen to. Again, it's more upbeat while the subject matter is still very like dark.
Hmm.
But yeah, I enjoyed that one.
Yeah. I mean, I like that one too. Um, I mean, I would say that's probably my least favorite one. Um, but that's because the bar has been so high. Because I still really enjoyed it. It's not like I hated it. It's just like, oh, okay, I got it. Um, so yeah, it's fine. Um,
Apparently, Untitled is the bridge between Ghost and the last song, so all these are one big boy.
should I roll it
So,
back 20 seconds
uh,
again?
sure, why not? We'll just go through the whole thing.
We'll do the spooky ghosts sounds again. All right. So then I guess finishing out the record with Untitled and Two Headed Boy Part 2.
The bagpipes. No one else is good, but it's got bagpipes.
That's true. Kate Bush record,
Exactly.
this one. uh, the last two songs and the record as a whole.
Masterpiece. Oh my god. Wow, that is one of the best closers I've ever heard in my life. That's weird because it's a part two song. Usually it's like, oh, is it an epilogue or what's going on here? But no,
Yeah.
that was amazing. Um, yeah, I think tying the last three songs together is fantastic. Just the way it flows through the different emotions. It's like Ghost is this triumphant, like not afraid to die kind of song, while also talking about death in general. Into Untitled, which is just like crazy. The bagpipes, the loudness, it's very triumphant. And then you return back to this song. Again, the cycle of life, the contradictions within it feels like you get everything in here. The song being about, I think, one of his brother's friends or something that committed suicide, and like he's relating that to Anne Frank's story and like the optimism of Anne Frank and like the most desolate time you could possibly imagine, and the hopefulness she still had, and just trying to encompass that, because I think he read that like shortly after this event happened. So just relating all these things together, and at the end where it's like, but don't hate her when she gets up to leave, like her kind of leaving. I don't know if that's in the sense of, her getting found out and on the train to the concentration camp, or you could take that other ways, and then he literally gets up and leaves. Like it's just
Yeah.
beautiful, it's all encompassing, like it's powerful. And I think it just connects at a deep level without even having to understand the lyrical content. And this whole record does it, but that's a fantastic way to kind of close it up in like a neat little package. um, Record as a whole is amazing, phenomenal. This is like one of the most unique albums I've listened to. um, and it wasn't as hard to get into as I thought. It grips you immediately. Like you can hear the quality, the emotion, the genuine passion of it. Um, yeah, I'm gonna have to listen to this a lot more, obviously, because there's a lot to unpack here. But off first listen, this is like amazing. Deserves all the hype. There's so much to dig in here, but like you can listen to it through an analytical lens, or you can just feel it. I try to do a little bit of both, but it's hard to do it on camera when there's so much going on here. But
Yeah.
amazing, fantastic.
Yeah. I would have to agree. This is probably my favorite record that we've done in a hot minute, which is surprising because, like you, I thought this was going to be very, very difficult to get into. This is going to be a little bit too artsy for me. I'm like, oh no, am I even going to like it? I love it. I think. Um, yeah, this is one where and I think this kind of epitomizes like the show don't tell kind of mindset. In movies, they say a
Mhm.
great movie, you can tell what's going on even if you turn the sound off. This is like you can tell the entire feelings. Like if you don't understand English and you're just
Mhm.
like still just listening to how he's singing and how the instruments are produced, I feel like just the general vibe of this just like gives off exactly what they're going for. Um, like all of these opposites that they're doing, the stark contrasts between your communist daughters and your airplanes over the seas and your two-headed boys. Like there's this just a whole lot of different things they're trying, and it's all working, and it's crazy. While all still kind of, I don't want to say sounding like the same, but there is this kind of like through line that you can definitely
Mhm.
tell is going throughout the whole thing. It isn't like all over the place where it's like, okay, this could have been like completely
Right.
different artists. It could be completely different albums. Like this is, they're doing all sorts of cool things, but still kind of keeping it the same, which is weird kind of contradiction in and of itself, but
Mhm.
it is kind of the vibe I'm getting here. Um, yeah, I'm glad I have the vinyl.
True.
Yeah, it's in a bin out by my record player, so I'll have to give that a listen, uh, you know, soon. So
So,
yeah, I don't remember. I think we may or may not have. This may or may not have been one that I plucked from the fan wheel. So, if it was suggested by anybody, I will. There you go. Thank you. If not, I will put a hilarious picture of a dog in a
Put a
cowboy
picture of
hat.
yourself just like stretched out.
Oh yeah, I'll do that.
This guy recommended it.
This guy, it was me. So yeah, but I think without further ado, I think it's wheel time.
Let's go. I don't know how I follow that up.
Well, we're back at the wheel. Let's see what it lands on.
Wow. Good.
I feel like we've been getting a lot of goods in a row.
We have been.
All right. All right, we're back at the list. So,
Yes, sir.
what are we going to listen to next week, huh?
I think it's been long enough. It's Janet Jackson, The Velvet Rope.
It's about time.
Has to be.
It has to be. Perfect. All right. So next week, we got Velvet Rope, Janet Jackson.
Highly requested. I've been wanting to get to it. We had to do the War on Drugs first, though, because I'm still listening to that album every day. But we're here finally. This is gonna be a long one too, so stay tuned for that.
All
It's an
right.
hour 15. So, but I am very excited. I like our little R&B deep dives that we do. Not really deep dives, but just like hitting the classics.
Yeah. Brandy and
is
Aaliyah, and now this.
Yes, all have been fantastic so far. So, very excited for that. Stay tuned for that. I know a lot of people have been asking for that one. Yeah, that's all I have.
Cool. Well, I mean, if you have other suggestions for things, always drop those in the comments. As long as they're on Spotify, we'll add it to our fan wheel, so there's a chance. But our fan wheel has not been shown off in a while, and it is very big.
Very bloated. So,
I think to the point where they aren't letting me add new entries to it. So I
Yeah.
have a list going. So once one gets picked, then I'm just gonna have to add the next one up. We'll have to think of a better system or something. But that's that. If you can't get enough of us, we do have a podcast where we talk
course we
about. Yeah, of course. We're white guys online.
Duh.
Yeah. And we talk about all sorts of fun things, all like movies and entertainment things that we are into. So yeah, that's that. Wow.